Warning, Hebrews Toys Reviews is not intended for children. It is for adult collectors and the people over the age of 18.
Where the heck is he? Always late, that guy.
Yeah, he better get here soon. I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom.
Murdoch, you're supposed to do that before we got here. And he better hurry up fast. I got a date.
You have a date?
Yeah. You know, is that flight attendant we met on our last mission.
Our last mission? I don't remember any missions.
Murdoch, you crashed the plane down into the jungle, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Man, not only is he crazy, but he's forgetful.
Hey, what you're calling crazy, pal?
Oh, fools, get in. We're going to be late for the review.
The review? Oh, no. Review? Oh, my God. I don't want to be late for the review. I could win an Emmy for this.
Murdoch, it's not that kind of review. Hey, guys, come on. Let's get going. We're late enough as it is.
I wish they would have made a bigger van for us.
Yeah, tell me about it. I can't even get into the back seat. And that's a big problem for you, Face.
Ha ha ha, very funny. It's okay, guys. Okay, guys, I'll ride on the roof.
Oh, man, you was one crazy sucker.
All right, guys, let's get going.
Hello, everybody. Hebrew77 here, and today we will be reviewing the original A-Team toy line from Galoob. As we saw in this, as you probably guessed by watching that skit. It's going to be a figure review that you're gonna love, and I love it when a review comes together. And now, on with the review. Ha!
In 1982, Galoob came out with 3 1/4 inch A-Team figures which resembled the G.I. Joes, hoping to come off of the success of the G.I. Joe toy line. But however, it didn't fare very well. In fact, I don't even have those figures. As you can see, I think about a year or so later they came out with the larger figures, which you see here, and which in the video you saw the van that I used was actually a van from the A-Team movie that came out, and I think it was 2000 and I'm going to say 2010, somewhere along those lines. Anyway, as you could see in that video, none of these guys fit inside the van. They never made a van that was large enough to fit all 4 figures. This was the only van. Well, there was 2 versions. There was one where they had Mr. T as a driver already in there. But of course then they had this one, which is more detailed actually than the other one. As you can see, I removed the roof here, and on the inside you could see a computer system, a nice spacious back seat, and 4 chairs. Now the only problem is none of these figures will fit this van. As you saw in that other video, none of them could fit in the other van as well. Even if you set a figure down into the back seat, which looked very luxurious, you still could not put the roof on it. With that being said, today I will focus on the 4 figures of which I have no accessories, but I will talk about them in depth. Start with the leader of the group, Colonel John Hannibal Smith. John Hannibal Smith, who was played by George Peppard in the original series. As you can see here, they've captured his likeness. I'm not sure what that is in his teeth there. It's some sort of smudge. These A-Team figures all had rubber heads that were squeezable. It was a big thing that they were doing at the time. As you saw with He-Man figures. Now, John Hannibal Smith, or Colonel Smith as you like to call him, comes with a tan jacket. A white t-shirt is underneath. You can see the light blue jeans and plain white sneakers. On the backs of each figure, it says 1983. So I was right when I said that these figures came out a year later than the original 3/4 inch figures, which were trying to capitalize off the popularity of G.I. Joes at the time. In line is Howling Mad Murdoch. Boy, he was like one of my favorite guys. Portrayed in the TV show by Dwight Schultz. You can see he comes with his typical blue hat. He has the brown bomber jacket. Now, on the back of the brown bomber jacket in the TV show, I think it had a tiger, if I'm not mistaken. And here you can see the small print once again, 1983. And then you've got sort of tan khaki colored pants with his signature Chuck Taylors. Now, I do believe that in the TV show the Chuck Taylors were high tops. However, this looks like he's got low tops, or maybe he's just covering the high tops with his tan khaki pants. He wore multiple different shirts on the TV show, of course. Here, for some reason, they decided to go with blue. And as you can see, mine has a smear of sort of blue paint on the collar. I do like the brown bomber jacket. But Howling Mad Murdoch was his name. He was the pilot for the A-Team. And Dwight Schultz also played another one of my favorite characters, Lieutenant Barkley, which they often nicknamed Broccoli. And he was a little bit, he wasn't crazy on that show, but he had a little bit of a mental health issue, which a lot of the Star Trek characters, they don't address on it. But anyway, this is one of my favorite characters in the show. And you had Templeton Peck, otherwise known as Faceman. Faceman wore a lot of the... a name like Faceman, you expected him to wear a lot of disguises. However, that wasn't the case. In most shows, he was their go-to guy when they needed a certain kind of vehicle, or they needed a way to get into a building, or they needed certain kind of accommodations. He was the man to go to. He had a lot of connections, and a lot of those connections are mostly to do with Hollywood. As you can see here, they've got him in a black leather jacket with some sort of orange shirt. I imagine that's a buttoned-up shirt with denim colored blue jeans. And then you've got black shoes, which I assume are shiny black shoes. Templeton Faceman came from money, and he had a lot of really cool, fancy cars in the TV show. And he was the one that typically always got the woman. As I do believe he was the most handsome of the entire bunch. A guy who I could least identify with. Of course, last but not least, the guy who they considered to be the star of the television show, Mr. T, B.A. Baracus. And boy, they couldn't have done a better job of representing Mr. T in this figure. I tell you, he's got the signature mohawk, all the gold chains, the denim style clothing. And as you can see down here, he's got orange and white socks. And he does have the high top versions of the Chuck Taylors. You know, you could see me as a kid probably putting this figure up against my Rambo figure, as I would oftentimes oh, look at that, he's standing basically on one foot, as I would oftentimes reenact the Rocky 3 final fight from, you know, Rocky 3, as Mr. T went one-on-one with Rocky Balboa. Here on this arm, you can see he's got several rings. Let's hold him in the light. You can't really see it. Let's zoom in a little bit. And he has bracelets. And over here on his right shoulder, we could see what appears to be a tattoo. However, mine, on my figure, it has faded quite a bit, and I can't make it out. It looks even worse on camera, but the bottom here, I can make out the letters Mr. T. If we zoom in, we could see Mr. T, which I found was weird, because they were mentioning the figure's real name and not the character who he portrays. You got a nice denim colored jacket there, and on the left hand, you have more rings on this hand, and you have a bracelet of some sort. Looks like chains that are just wrapped around, but I assume those are gold bracelets. And nice black pants, and you can see mine has the blue on the butt. I would rate these figures. Mr. T's knees and legs are still in pretty good condition, I mean, but you know, they're very limited as to their movements. The arms move up and down, and they often become loose over the years. Now this one has tight arms, but that was the only way you could move them, was up and down. The legs did bend at the knees, but here's where the problem would come in with those legs, much like G.I. Joe's, as over the years you would get some very wobbly legs, like they would get that crazy leg effect. And I imagine, you know, there's really truly no fixing it. The G.I. Joes had the little screws that you could take out and replace those, if you knew what you were doing. I, however, did not and still do not. I'm sure if there is a way to fix these figures, you can find that figure fix over on Toy Polloi. I don't know that if there is one or not, but I'm sure that he would have it. His channel covers all those figure fixes and paint fixes and all of that good stuff.
Well, that does it for my A-Team toy review. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And if you want to see more toy reviews, you can click one of those boxes and check out my next toy review. Until next time, this has been Hebro77 saying, knowing isn't just half the battle, it's the whole damn war. Until next time.